to be joined tonight by Grove Park Elementary School's chorus and their sponsor, Miss Alexis Johnson. Thank you so much, Grove Park. Man, you can feel the joy in the room. That was fantastic. So if you guys will look at the art cases in the back, the talented teacher, Miss Alexis Johnson, who you just saw directing the choir, is also the art teacher at Grove Park Elementary. And so this artwork at the back of the room, she brought over yesterday to display for her students. So get a good look at it when you get an opportunity. So at this time, we will have Chaplain Reese Edwards from Orange Park Medical Center come to give us our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
First, I'd just like to say Merry Christmas to everyone in this room, and particularly those sweet, sweet students. Oh, what a blessing they were. Amen. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, Lord, you know, we're just so thankful to be an American, to be a citizen of Clay County. Lord, you have so richly blessed us in so many things, the land of abundance. Father, we thank you for the students. We thank you for every teacher in Clay County, for all the staff, all the employees who work so hard each and every day to make their education the second to none, the best of the best. Now, Father, a special blessing and prayer for the school board. Lord, I just pray that you will continue to give them divine wisdom and knowledge as they discuss and do the business that you have appointed them to do. And Father, because we know that whatever they come up with, we believe by faith that it'll be the best for our students and our community. So thank you, Father, for what you've done. And again, last but not least, thank you, dear God, for sending us, humanity, the greatest gift of all, your Son, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Amen. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I will now call to order the school board meeting for December 7th, 2023. I want to take this time to welcome all of you citizens of Clay County and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's school board meeting. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card located at the side entry door indicating the specific item number or topic you wish to speak about and turn it in promptly to one of our officers. If you have items that you would like to present to the school board or superintendent, please hand them to an officer as well who will distribute them accordingly. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comment section under presentations from the audience. Your participation is always welcomed and appreciated. So tonight we have quite a few celebrations here for the Clay County School District. As you can see, we have a packed house. We're going to begin tonight with the recognition of the winners of the Lynn Matisse Foundation for the anti-bullying contest. And we have Miss Laura Fogarty, the Director of Climate and Culture, to make that presentation.
Are we on? Yes. Good evening. First, I just want to tell you how absolutely awesome this is for us to be up here. We have had the opportunity to partner with Mr. Lynn Matisse. This is our second year. He is truly, many of you may know him as a professional on the greens, but he's really a professional in life. He has, over the course of the past 2 years, donated thousands through his foundation, and it has just been an incredible opportunity for our students. So we are very thankful for that. And without further ado, this is Mr. Lynn Matisse, and he is here to celebrate our students who have won the anti-bullying campaign. Mr. Lynn Matisse.
Thank you.
What can I do to help you?
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here tonight. Lynn Matisse with the Lynn Matisse Foundation. We have a Stop the Bullying campaign that we've been doing for a few years now, and we're really proud about the fundraising that we do because all the money that we raise for this campaign goes right back into the kids' awards. And we're really proud tonight to award 2 top winners for Clay County. And I'll get to that in a second, but thank you to the superintendent and your office. Our contacts with Terry and Laura have been great. Your communication's been great with us. And again, it's a privilege to be here to be able to award the 2 top winners. So what we do is we challenge the kids in all the middle schools in Clay County, and that would include, I guess, 6th grade as well. So today we actually gave an award to an elementary school, 2 kids that did a project at Argyle Elementary. It was really a privilege to be there because they were excited to get that award. Their teacher was excited that they got the award, and the teacher's like, can we see that project? Because the teacher wanted to share it in her class. So that gives us great feelings that that's what it's all about, to be able to challenge these kids to do stop bullying projects. And when kids engage kids, it's a very powerful thing. And everybody knows here, they can probably relate that if they've been bullied or they know somebody that's bullied, their kids maybe are being bullied, or they know friends that are being bullied, it's a very serious thing. And what we're trying to do is get rid of it 100%, because nobody deserves to come to a school, a classroom, or even a neighborhood environment and receive that type of aggressive, repetitive, unwarranted behavior. And we feel like we can make a difference in the community, and that's why we're here. So our campaign is all about kindness, compassion, and inclusion. And even the kids tonight, we're singing a little bit about kindness. So we challenge the kids each semester to do any project that they want. They can do a paper, a video, a community project, anything that their heart sings to that they want to express. And we award top winners in the district. So it's a privilege again tonight to be able to have the 2 top awards. I'll start with their names if they can come up and join for the celebration tonight. And again, these are the 2 top Stop Bullying Project awards in Clay County. Angela Lynn and Lily Veneman. Can you please come up and join here? Congratulations. Congratulations. Can you just hang right here for a second? I'm going to embarrass you for just a minute, right here. So just really briefly, their projects, they're all-stars. Angela, raise your hand. Yeah. Angela did a written paper, and she expressed, she talked about a lot about in detail kindness, and she included in the paper 1 out of every 5 students receive some type of bullying. But the paper was beautifully written. You're an expert in writing the paper. And again, she centered it on what kindness is all about. So it was a top award. It was a no-brainer. And Lily's project was an incredible, beautiful poem. It wasn't just like 3 or 4 lines. It was a very lengthy poem. And I think you're a pro at writing, because the poem talked about just an incredible way to kind of talk about like what a bully is and simply what a victim is, but she did it in a poem form, and it was really expert written. So I hope that both of your classes, is Principal DeMarie, is she here tonight? I'm sorry. So thank you for being here, and I hope that your class and the schools can share the projects, because again, you're all-stars in what you do. And if you're not, you're not 8th grade yet, are you? Or 8th grade? So 8th grade will move on, but what grade are you in? 6th grade. So again, we have, we're going to do this again in the spring if the county allows us. And again, any middle schooler can take part in it and send it into the county. So we're really proud. So here's the fun part. Ready? The awards, okay? Along with a hat, each get a hat, each get a great certificate. And again, the certificates are very nice, but you can use those certificates and kind of, if you're looking for like, part-time work, college resumes, stuff like that as you go. You're partnering with the Len Matisse Foundation, and with this campaign, it'll go a long ways with things that you want to aspire to as you grow. We have T-shirts as well, so each get a T-shirt. green's my favorite color because I am a pro golfer, but that's a whole nother story. And the awards. So we have each award, it's a top winner. The top winners in the district receive an award of $1,000 each. And you guys get those. That's how we roll. And we really put it out there to challenge the kids to win these awards. Again, we're going to do it again in the spring. And we love to fundraise and be able to say thank you to all the students. Thank you to the schools that participate. And I really appreciate the time. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matisse. That is so generous. Great job, ladies. Next, we have the recognition of board member recipients, Ms. Skipper and Ms. Bola, of the 2023 Appreciation Award from Tobacco Free Clay. And making the presentation is Monique Johnson, the Tobacco Policy Manager and Health Educator, and Julie Duncan, Community Engagement Specialist for Tobacco Free Clay.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. I'm Monique Johnson, the Tobacco Policy Manager with the Tobacco Free Partnership of Clay County. Some of the work that we do, I'm sorry, I have Julie Duncan, she's a Community Engagement Specialist with Tobacco Free Clay as well. Some of the work that we do in the county, our whole goal is to reduce youth nicotine use and exposure here in the county. One of our policy areas is creating a district-wide K-12 tobacco-free policy, and a lot of other areas. We work the parks and things of that nature, cessation access. Our work is not able to be done without, I would say, champions in the community. Ms. Bola and Ms. Skipper, you guys have gone above and beyond with your support for us. And I would say the school district in a whole in supporting the work that we do. Your passion for the youth of Clay County shows. Ms. Bola, you'll be happy to know that Derek is wrapping up his first freshman semester at Savannah State University. He asks about you all the time, and we're really so appreciative of what you do. Like, we could not do this work without you. So we would like to present you two with our 2023 Tobacco Free Clay Appreciation Award. I don't know if you'd like to come down and grab your award.
I have yours as well, Ms. Bola.
to listen to me. I just want to get the whole board for this because we are 2 of 5, and without them, this wouldn't have happened. And being on the committee of tobacco-free Clay, this was a passion of mine in my everyday job as a nurse. So it's something that I would have loved to see, and I know that for quite some time they've been trying to get this moving, so it was an honor to help in this. And again, if it wasn't for the rest of the board in support of this, this wouldn't have happened. So thank y'all.
Thank you, ladies, for all that you do to promote health and wellness for our students. We are now going to move on to the recognition of the 2023 Founders Week Art Contest. And this presentation will be by Miss Mary Owen, Social Studies Specialist, and Mr. Chris Google, the Fine Arts Specialist for Clay County District.
Good evening, school board members, Superintendent Broski, and our community members. I'm honored to be here tonight to recognize 7 students for their remarkable artistic achievements. These students and many others across the district participated in this year's Founders Week Art Contest. Before we honor these incredible artists, I'd like to share a little bit about Founders Week. Founders Week is the time we set aside each September to honor our country and the people who have made it what it is today. Founders Week in Clay County District Schools combines celebrations of both Constitution Day and Freedom Week, which recognizes the Declaration of Independence. During this week, teachers and students engage in age-appropriate lessons centered around analyzing the primary source documents that have served as both the foundation of American government and an outline of the duties of government and rights and responsibilities of United States citizens. On the screen, you can see the Founders Week Hyperdoc that is shared with all Clay County social studies teachers. This Hyperdoc includes state statute information related to Founders Week, as well as lesson plans and other resources that get students looking at the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. Each year, we select a theme as the focus of our Founders Week lessons. This year, our theme was the Preamble, Legacy of We the People, where students were asked to analyze and evaluate the goals outlined in the preamble of the Constitution to make connections about how these goals are evident in our daily lives today. Across K-12 social studies classrooms in Clay County, we saw students work hard analyzing the documents our constitutional republic was founded on. At Keystone Heights Elementary, students created their own classroom constitution and took it to the front office to be read to their administrators. Students at Orange Park Junior High participated in a Constitution Day poster and writing contest, and their work was proudly displayed in the hallways. At Lakeside Junior High, students analyzed and annotated the preamble by creating images to represent each goal. On the last day of Founders Week, we encourage all students to show their patriotism by wearing red, white, and blue on Freedom Friday. I'm excited to take the opportunity to honor and recognize these fantastic artists. As we recognize the winners of the art contest, you'll be able to see their submissions on the screen. We have also placed the winning artwork in the case along the back wall, and these will remain there until next school year. As any Clay County civics or government student can tell you, the first 3 words of the preamble, we the people, are some of the most important in the entire Constitution. These 3 words remind us that our republic is one that has been created by its citizens and for its citizens. This year's contest provided our K-2 students with the opportunity to reflect on how they can be responsible citizens in their communities. As I call our winners up, I'm going to ask them to remain standing so that we can get a group picture at the end of our recognition. Parents, feel free to snap pictures as your student is called up. We'll also get a group picture at the end. All right, so from Wilkinson Elementary, our winner from kindergarten is Penelope Baker. Penelope says, I can be a responsible citizen in my community by cleaning trash at the beach. What an awesome job. All right. Yes. From Clay Hill Elementary, representing first grade, is Olivia Austin. Olivia says, I can be a responsible citizen in my community by caring for my family and animals. Sounds like a great citizen. All right. We had a tie for second grade. So our first second grade winner comes from Wilkinson Elementary, and it's Elianai Concepcion. She says, I can be a responsible citizen in my community by saluting the flag. Our second winner from second grade is Paisley Snow from McRae Elementary. Paisley says, I can be a responsible citizen in my community by planting flowers and making my community look pretty. The preamble of the Constitution sets the goals and intentions of our government. Our 3rd through 5th grade students were asked to reflect on and choose a goal in the preamble that helps to make our country a better place. Representing 3rd grade from Fleming Island Elementary is Emma Graham. Emma says, one goal in the preamble that helps to make our country a better place is to form a more perfect union, because it is the purpose of the Constitution to create a better government than the one they had before. I couldn't have said it better myself. From Wilkinson Elementary, our 4th grade winner is Leah Lowry. Leah says, one goal in the preamble that helps to make our country a better place is to provide for the common defense because it keeps us safe, and my dad is in the military. Thank you. And if your dad is able to be here today, thank you for your service. Our last winner, representing 5th grade from Orange Park Elementary, is Meredith Trumbull. Meredith says, one goal in the preamble that helps to make our country a better place is to provide for the common defense because it keeps us safe and it helps our country stay protected. Love it. All right, we are so proud of our artists. Yes, let's give them one more round of applause. Superintendent Broski, would you like to come down and get a photo? Thank you. Yes.
Well done, ladies. Beautiful artwork. Mr. Broski, if you want to stay down, I think you're next. So our next recognition is of the Hispanic Heritage Month contest winner, and Mr. Broski will be making this presentation.
Hey, there's a reason why Clay County is tops in civics education. How about Miss Owen, the civics the teachers out there and the wonderful students. A big round of applause for them. Thank you. I'm actually here to give an award for Hispanic Heritage Month contest winner. You know, last board meeting, we'd have an individual talking about how do we integrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Well, we do that each and every day in Clay County schools. It's integrated within our classes, but the September 15th to October 15th takes on special significance. One of those things that happen is we actually have a state winner right here in Clay County. Governor DeSantis, First Lady Casey DeSantis announced this year's Hispanic Heritage Month winners. I'm proud to recognize one of our own, Clay County school student, Joseph Norman, a 7th grader at Oakleaf Junior High School. If you can make your way this way. Now, I just want to brag about this young man for a second. There's only 2 winners in the entire state of Florida. You're looking at one of them here. Joseph wrote an essay reflecting the theme of celebrating Florida's Hispanic heroes and their contributions to freedom. And if I'm not mistaken, wrote about your godfather. Is that correct? Must have been a great essay. So let's recognize his achievement and recognize his contribution by a big round of applause. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Joseph. Well done. We have several recognitions that Mr. Jay Stillino will be making. So we have the recognition of the Clay County Student Athletes of the Month, the Coaches of the Month, the recognition of some state champions, and the athletics check presentation to the American Cancer Society. So at this time, Mr. Stillino, I'll give you the floor.
Big check, that's right. We got so many, I can't even put them up there. All right, first off, as always, thank you Superintendent Broski and members of the school board for the opportunity to come up and recognize and celebrate all the great things that our school, the athletic directors, principals, the student athletes, it's simply amazing what they've accomplished. And all you got to do is just look around. It's crazy. I mean, if you can't get excited about the energy in here, you don't have a pulse, I guess. All right, so there's going to be a lot of great things that we're talking about for our celebrations and all the amazing things that we're doing on the side of athletics. But before we even do that, when we talk about in Clay County, it's student athlete. So before we get to athlete, that student part is in front. And so when you look at the recap of the FHSA fall sports that we just had, our cumulative GPA was a 3.41 GPA. So all 7 of our high schools submitted to the academic team championship for FHSA. So we take that, and that's how we came up with this GPA, which, in my personal opinion, is extremely impressive. All right, with that, I talked about the academic team championship. We just found this out recently, that Keystone Heights football was the 2S state champion in all of the state of Florida, again, with a 3.19 team GPA. So extremely impressive. The expectations and standards at Keystone High School football obviously is high, because not only did they win it this year, but you can see up there, they won it in 2020, 2022, and 2023. So Keystone Heights football is doing things the right way, how we want them to be done anyways. All right, we're going to transition into state champions. And so this young lady actually is not here tonight. She is actually at the junior national competition in Ohio, I'm being told. When you're that good, that's what you do, right? You go and compete, right? So, but Marin McDade won the 50 freestyle for the 2023, which is back-to-back-to-back state champion. And she also won the 100-meter freestyle this year for the 2023 swimming 3A state championship. So her coach, Mr. Charles Newell, is going to come up and accept her certificate. So Mara McDade, state champion. And we're just in the individual state champs. We haven't got the team yet. So our next state champ, individual state champ, Tyler Mulwiney. I got to say that right because the win's in his name. So how do I even mess that up? Mulwiney. He's the 3A state champ in boys golf. Not only is he the 3A state champ, but we just found out yesterday, it came out that he is the Florida dairy farmer, Mr. Golf. So if you don't know what that means he is the best golfer in the state of Florida. And that's Tyler Mulwiney. Good question, Tyler. Here's the other thing about Tyler. I don't know if anybody knows this or not. Clearly, his parents and his teammates. Tyler's only a sophomore. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I found that out. All right, so not only did Tyler win the individual state championship, but the boys golf team at Fleming Island High School also captured the team state championship. And just a little bit about that, after day one, they had an 8-stroke lead going into day two. And so I asked Coach, how did you sleep that night going into, he's like, I was just thinking about ice and sandwiches and snacks that we had to get the kids. I was like, spoken like a true coach. But the first state championship in school history, as far as golf is concerned, and the first state championship in our county history, the 3A boys state championship golf team. So I'm going to ask athletic director, because the head coach, Mr. Bruce Cloud, is actually on the Golf Advisory Council. I guess he's advising everybody the great things that Fleming Island did over the fall. But I'm going to ask athletic director Travis Gunningham to come up and call out the names of the golf team.
I have one in my pocket, but this works. All right. All right, first we got Tyler Mulwiney. Jalen Abbas. Carson Moore. Alex Blom. Elliot Mueller. Should have brought my glasses. Ryan Hauk. Emmett Kuhlenkamp. Chase Ricks. Benjamin Carlton. Nathan Bozeman. Eli Lewis. And then we have Dylan Frine. He's not here tonight, right? We have head coach Bruce Cloud. And assistant coach Joe Mawini. He's not here tonight as well.
Yeah, great job. Absolutely amazing. So the boys golf team, they went 11-0 match play. They won the district title, and then like all great teams, they dealt with some adversity in the regional championship, and they actually finished third. But in sports, we want people to almost really, to be honest with you, to deal with adversity. So you learn how to persevere, and that's exactly what they did. Got refocused, and like I said, dominated. Matter of fact, they shot the lowest round of golf in all of the tournament, if I remember correctly. So extremely impressive. Great job. All right, the next state champs, team state champs, is your 2023 5A Middleburg High School volleyball state champions. So last time I was in here, I talked about all the great things that we're doing at Clay County and how there would be an opportunity for this volleyball team as they travel down to win a state title, and hopefully we would be passing out some more certificates and some more rings, and they did not disappoint. So thank you for making me look good, Middleburg Volleyball. All right. Also, Connor Ron, who helped lead that team to a state title, was named the 5A Player of the Year for the volleyball team. All right, I'm going to ask Coach Meredith Forkham to come on up and call the ladies down so they can receive their certificate.
Thank you for having us tonight. All right, girls. First is Connor Ron. Next is Emma Brew. Kendall Wall. Olivia Calipo. Brooke Forkham. Morgan Paget. Camden Ron. Catherine White. Kate Lowry. Allie Lowry. Hannah Gornault. Gracie Bingham. We also have Haley Fugate, but she's not here with us tonight. Assistant coach Corey Cobb. And assistant coach Cassie Kirkland.
Yeah. Oh, congrats. If I remember correctly, I think they lost 2 games, and one of those happened to be to Ridgeview, if I was keeping track. Excuse me, sets. Excuse me, I apologize. Two sets in the whole entire tournament, and it was extremely impressive. Like it was fun, and I would venture to say that they believe that their biggest cheerleaders was the Middleburg softball team, who drove down both days and was incredible. So yeah, kudos to them. All right, real quick, Principal Mr. Martin Aftuck wanted to say a couple words real fast before we moved on.
I'll be very brief. I know we have a lot to recognize. First of all, these ladies, 3.6 team GPA, #1. We're proud of everything they do in the classroom, same as Clay County. We're proud of the academics, certainly proud of the athletic support that we get. So we have a couple gifts for you guys tonight. First, we want to present the board with some championship T-shirts. Go ahead, ladies. Brand new Adidas State Championship shirts, hot off the press. Thank you, Baker Sports. And then, what's that? No, I got you. I took care of you. And it's pretty fun to wear a medal around school. I've been wearing it for a couple weeks. I figure, you know what? I'm not kidding. It's great for the pictures. But I've got one for, first and foremost, this guy has been he was there the entire time with us. He was there cheering on the team. We're super superstitious, myself and Stillano. Like these girls are so calm, cool, collected. We have to stay in one spot, and we're wearing the same clothes, whatever. But Jay Stillano, we got a medal for you. We appreciate everything you do for us as our Clay County Coordinator of Athletics. Last but certainly not least, Mr. Broski is a former principal of Middleburg High School, superintendent. We got you a medal as well. We appreciate all you guys do for us, for our student athletes. Thank you again.
Again, congratulations. That's right. Put that thing on, that bling, everywhere you go. All right, we're going to transition in because I know there's a lot of people waiting. We're going to transition into the Student Athlete of the Month. This program is presented by Northeast Florida Builders Association. They've been a partner for us from the jump. Like Christina Thomas and has been absolutely an amazing partner. And so what we do for this particular program is the 7 athletic directors, they submit names and to be nominated, and then from that the selection committee picks who they feel like is the best. The winners receive, as you can see up there, a frame certificate and a YouTube interview, quarter zip jackets, 2 free tickets to the Jackson Iceman game, and obviously here tonight for school board recognition. So it's a pretty amazing program that again can only be done from Northeast Florida Builders Association. So with that, excuse me, our first student athlete of the month is Miss Brooke Forcum. You just heard about her. She's a two-sport athlete, obviously volleyball and beach volleyball. She has a 4.29 GPA. She is an AP student, National Honor Society, Beta Club, and ALC. She has 120 volunteer hours. She volunteers at Special Olympics, Clothes Closet, youth camps, and she's a 2023 volleyball state champion. Miss Brooke Forcum, Student Athlete of the Month. Again, so when we're talking about student athletes, we're not just talking about the quote-unquote stud of the athletics. We're talking about a kid that does all things, gets it done in the classroom, gets it done on the court, and gets it done on the school and the community. Our next student athlete of the month is Mr. Brandon Anderson. He's a 3-year cross-country member. He's also a member of the American Ninja Warrior, and he's internationally ranked. It's pretty impressive. As you can see up there, he has a 4.697 GPA. He's third in his class. He's a member of the IB program, which, if you know anything about the IB program, like that's a challenging, rigorous program. He has a 100% pass rate in all his AP classes. You can see all the clubs that he's a member of, and as a matter of fact, when we did the filming for him, it was me and Terry did it on the play set. They had a play that night, and he is not here tonight because guess what? He has a chorus concert. So when I say he gets things done on the campus, he gets things done on campus. But regardless, we'd like to recognize Brandon Anderson. All right, our next young man, when I told him when we were filming, he's a unicorn, and I mean that. All right, and why do I say that? Because he's a 3-sport athlete. He participates in football, basketball, and baseball, all at the varsity level, and is a starter on all 3 teams, and is a major contributor. Not only does he participate in all 3 sports, but he has a 4.54 GPA. He's 6th in his class. He's taken 5 AP classes this year alone. Don't ask me how he does all these. All right, he's a member of ALC, HOSA, and NHS. He volunteers at the local youth programs, the Pop Warner Flag Football. When I asked him about that, like, why are you so much? He's like, because they did that for me. People before me did that for me. I'm passionate about the sport, so I just want to pour into these kids. I thought it was a great answer. So with that, Mr. Merritt Raposa. All right, now a lot of, in order to have great student athletes and great achievements like that, there has to be people that's leading the way. And our next program is the Clay County Coach of the Month program, which is brought to us by Chick-fil-A, Joe Mayo and Tabitha Mayo of Middleburg, are amazing individuals. You'll see them at the award show. You'll see them at the golf tournament. They're just so giving. So again, each of these winners are nominated by their athletic directors, and that's not just high school, but also the junior high, and the selection committee selects from there. The winners receive a certificate, again, a night quarter zip from BSN, 4 tickets to the Jacksonville Iceman game, and a Chick-fil-A swag bag. So this program isn't possible without Chick-fil-A. All right, our first winner for the Clay County Coach of the Month is Mr. Chris Foy. Coach Foy is the head coach at Oakleaf High School. Absolutely. Coach Foy was the Jaguars Coach of the Week, and he also enriches students' experience with college campus visits and camps. When I talked to Coach about, Coach, why is it so important to take these kids to exposure? He's like, look, it's not just the kids that are going to play at that level. Some of these kids have never even been on a college campus. It's my pleasure to be able to take them there and for them just to experience, see what it's like. And I thought that spoke volume about him as a person. But I don't think it's to me, what stood out to me as much as this next one. And his number one rule in the whole football program is love your school. And you could tell it when you're at Oakleaf High School from the things that they're doing on the campus, from mulching the school to helping out custodian staff. Like it's amazing, the program and the leadership that Coach Foy is doing over at Oakleaf High School. We are lucky to have him. Congratulations, Coach Foy. All right, the next individual, you've already seen her up here, but what I didn't tell you is that Miss Meredith Forkham was also the 5A Coach of the Year for the state of Florida. So again, when I tell you we have the best of the best, we have the best of the best. It's not, again, just an opinion. So Miss Meredith Forkham is the head volleyball coach at Middlebury High School, obviously, right? The 23 district regional state champ. Her team was #1 ranked team in all the 5A, the first volleyball state title in school in the county history. She's also an AP chemistry teacher. So we got to point that out. So she's not just getting it done in there, but she's getting it done in the classroom too. And obviously, when we talk about her team volunteering at Special Olympics Clothes Closet and all the various community events, it starts with Miss Meredith Forkham. So thank you, Coach. Congratulations. All right, and last but not least, as I talked about this individual too, is Coach Bruce Cloud, the head boys golf coach for Fleming Island High School. 2023 district champs, 23 state champs, the 3A individual state champ. He's also the football announcer, so you'll find him on Friday nights. And he also does the Randy Warren Invitational, where he provides scholarships to individuals on the school. The other thing I left out, and again, we just found this out yesterday, Mr. Bruce Cloud was also named the Florida Dairy Farmers Coach of the Year. So based on that, the best coach in the state of Florida right here at Fleming Island High School. Again, he can't be here tonight because he's on the advisory council, but Coach Bruce Cloud. All right, and our last but not least, and again, I apologize about being long-winded, but when people do great things, I think it's important to recognize them and make sure that we show them love, and hopefully others learn vicariously and want to do the same thing. So with that, we're going to talk about our Pink Out games. So here's the deal with me. Servant leadership is extremely important to me, extremely. So what I say to every school I've ever been at, and now as a county AD, we go out and ask the community constantly to pour into us, to give us things. What are we doing for them? What are we doing to show them that they should pour into what we have to offer? So it's a big deal for me. So when the Pink Out, when Jacqueline Rodriguez and Jaguars Preps came and the athletic directors came and said, hey, we'd like to do this event. We did this event last year. We thought it was awesome. I'm like, absolutely. Why would we not do that? And so we had 9 athletic directors participate. So all 7 high schools and also Oakleaf Junior High and Wilkeston Junior High participated in this event. And it was absolutely amazing for the Pink Out. But I'd like to say this. I did nothing. I want to make sure that's known, that I did absolutely nothing. It was the 9 athletic directors and Jacqueline Rodriguez and Kaylin Reinhardt who did all the work and raised all the money. So with that, I'd like to ask those individuals to come on up here. All athletic directors, Jacqueline Rodriguez, Kaylin Reinhardt. All right, as you can see up here, as I talked about, Jacqueline and Kaylin were huge parts, and we wouldn't be able to get this off the ground without Jaguars Preps and Jacqueline with American Cancer Society. Jaguars Preps provided crucial catch stickers for helmets, and 600 of them. And they also provided 30 tickets for a December 31st football game to all members who participated in that. So that was amazing. Also, I need to point this out. It wasn't just athletics. Like FBLA at Fleming Island High School was participating. There was all kind. There was pie in the face. There was T-shirts. Like there was so many people involved. This is not just an athletic deal. All right, this is a school community event, and it's the only way it's possible. And before I talk about the total and present the check, I'd like to Miss Jacqueline Rodriguez would like to talk about the partnership.
Good evening, board members. I am honored to be here this evening to present Clay County Athletics with a partnership award for their outstanding fundraising achievement this year through their Pink Out Games partnership with the American Cancer Society and Jaguars Prep. Their determination to surpass their 2022 fundraising goal deserves a special recognition for raising nearly $10,000 more than last year. The estimated number of people who have heard or will hear the words, "You have breast cancer this year," is 300,590. And of that number, 2,800 will be men. Our trained cancer information staff answers live calls and chats, and the number one information request is breast cancer. We all know the American Cancer Society invests in cancer research, but for breast cancer specific research, the Society is currently investing more than $78 million through 160 grants. The American Cancer Society also provides programs and services for all cancer patients and their families. Lodging and transportation for cancer-related treatments is at the top of the list. These life-saving resources are only available because of our generous partnerships like those with the Clay County School District and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thank you to Mr. Stillano, all the athletic directors, and the school staff who supported them, as well as the Jaguars prep team for saying yes to another Pink Out season this year. It's been so rewarding for me personally to work with each and every one of you. And thank you to the board members for allowing me to have the opportunity to come up here on behalf of the American Cancer Society. So just wanted to give you the award. We can do this in the picture. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, real quick before we do the check presentation, obviously you can see that number up there, $14,429.75 is what was raised just this year in the month of October. That's outstanding, people. Great job. Last year, I think we raised $5,700, if I remember correctly. So it's a little bit of an increase. And again, kudos to all these individuals. And then last but not least, we have to give a huge shout out to Keystone Heights because they raised the most money with $2,600. So again, thank you to everybody, not just our schools, but the community. It's not possible without your guys' help. So.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Stillano. We have so much to be proud of here in Clay County. Our students accomplish so much and make us proud in and out of the classroom, and so many great opportunities for students to really shine in our district. Now we will move on to the recognition of the 2023-2024 School-Related Employee of the Year and Teacher of the Year semifinalists. And making the presentation for this is Ms. Carolyn Krall, the president, and Ms. G. Teven, the board chair, and Mr. Michael Rathjen of the Clay Education Foundation.
Good evening, school board members and Superintendent Broski. We, on behalf of Clay Education Foundation, we're honored to present the top 10 school-related Employee of the Year and Teacher of the Year semifinalists. Behind each of these semifinalists, you'll find countless examples of ways they're making a positive impact on students' lives and in their school communities. We can't wait to celebrate them and all 92 nominees at the Apple Awards on February 8th. I'm going to turn it over to G. Teven, our board chair.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. And as you probably found out soon enough that we weren't the awardees, right? So we're part of the Clay Education Foundation. I'm G. Teven. You don't know me. I'm the chairwoman of the Clay Education Foundation. And this is Michael Rathjen, and he is our vice chair. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to the athletes. They all left already, but congratulations to the athletes and coaches. Secondly, thank you to Superintendent Broski and to our school board, as well as the school district staff for all the support you guys have given the foundation. We would not be where we are right now without the collaboration and partnership that we currently have with everyone. Our mission at Clay Education Foundation is to create meaningful partnerships between the community, businesses, and Clay County Public Schools by enhancing educational programs that benefit students, families, and teachers. Through this collaboration, we are able to directly support the teachers and the students in the classroom with grants, STEM programs, literacy programs, free school supplies, and the reason why we are all here today, the Apple Awards. Michael?
Okay, so now we'll announce the top 10 semifinalists for the School-Related Employee of the Year. Of course, when I call your name, please make your way center stage. First, we have Josephine Rockmore. Yes. And then make sure you now stay up front too, please, for a group photo. Next, we have Tremory Chambers. Woo! All right. All right. We have Philip Tuturo. Here's Philip. Okay. And then next we have Amanda, is it Zayas? Yes, awesome. Thank you. All right. Next we have Valerie Messer. Woo. Stop. Okay. Andrea Wilson. Come on down. There you go. Stacy Jackson. All right. Thank you. Shalonda Delano. Awesome. Yeah, nice. Pamela Saxon. Pamela. And last but definitely not least, we have Cameron Rivera. Carmen Rivera. Carmen Rivera. Sorry. Down to the last one.
All right, let's give them a standing ovation for all their hard work. All right, and now we'd like to call the top 10 Teacher of the Year semifinalists. From Wilkinson Junior High, Robin Campbell. From Oakleaf Junior High, Karen Witten. From Wilkinson Elementary, Sarah Gums. From Swimming Pen Creek Elementary, Regina Bragg. From Spring Park Elementary, Allison Altwater. I think this next person has a crowd. From Orange Park Elementary, Wendy Stevens. From Oakleaf High School, Edwin Ormeo. From Lakeside Junior High, Sherry Bumpers. From Coppergate Elementary, Lisa Allen. And from Argyle Elementary, Valerie Jenkins. All right, let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you again and congratulations to everyone.
Well, good luck to each and every one of you. I know we're all looking forward to the Apple Awards, we appreciate the job that you do for students every day here in Clay County. At this time, we will move to the recognition of Florida Educators of Excellence for Native American Heritage Award recipient. This will be presented by Ms. Kelly Mosley, the Supervisor of Career and Technical Education.
All right, thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight to recognize one of our amazing CTE teachers. I know everybody's excited. I might wait for just a second for them to clear the room. All right, Alice and I are excited to be here tonight to recognize Tori Gwaltney on behalf of Mr. Boyack, who couldn't make it tonight, the principal of Oakleaf High School. And Tori actually was one of 4 teachers in the state to be recognized for the Native American Heritage Educator Award. And so Tori actually was recognized by the governor and got to go to the governor's mansion last week. And it was very exciting whenever we saw that on social media. But I also want to share a few other things about Tori. Teaching ag is a lifestyle. It is not a job. And so here's a few highlights about Tori. She's been teaching for 6 years. She spent 4 years at Oakleaf High School. Her students have earned 113 industry certifications in the past 3 years. Tori was also accepted into the 19th class of the Agriculture Educator Leadership Program. That's a collaboration between the Florida Department of Agriculture and the Florida Department of Education after she was nominated by Mr. Broski, Mr. Boriak, and the CTE department. When she was teaching in North Carolina, she earned the Governor's Discovery Award. In this year alone, Tori has written and secured $8,000 in grant funding to expand projects on the campus. Before the end of the year, they'll have completely rebuilt their raised bed gardens, enclosed their rabbit teaching facilities, installed all new rabbit cages, and 50 students will be able to attend the Fisheries and Forestry lab at the University of Florida to learn about water quality and management. Tori is also an FFA advisor with Mr. Samples, and their FFA chapter has been recognized as a premier FFA chapter. Last year at State Convention, they got 100% membership. They had finalists for Proficiency Awards and State Star recipient as well. And she just let me know that earlier, hot off the press, Oakleaf High School's FFA Alumni and Supporters chapter, as well as their FFA chapters, received a $12,000 grant that I'm sure Tori wrote. She's smiling, from Clay Electric through their Operation Roundup program. So as you can see, Tori is one of the best as well, and we are excited to recognize her this evening.
All right. Well, congratulations, Tori, and thank you for all that you do for students in Clay County. So at this time, we will have our school showcase. We were so privileged to have the Grove Park Elementary School gifted program and robotics program at the start of our meeting, and we had their chorus entertain us before we began tonight. And now we have Mr. Justin Jones, their principal, to tell us about all the wonderful things going on at Grove Park.
Good evening, school board members and Mr. Broski. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present at tonight's showcase. I told staff when they asked, they said, Mr. Jones, what time do you think you'll get a chance to go on? I said, probably about 6:15, 6:20. But we have several tonight who have hung in there, including students. I see Miles, Emma and Adam, Jonah, and a handful of staff. I appreciate that night, but learning begins promptly at 8:30 in the morning at Grove Park Elementary, and so, you got to get to bed early, you got to get dinner and get recharged and ready to go. I don't know how quick, I don't want to make too much of a feast out of this, but the time will be meaningful. I want to recognize again all of our staff. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work that you do. I want to recognize Mr. Rogers, our coordinator, student success, and no talk about the excellence going on at Grove Park Elementary can occur without recognizing our assistant principal, Shadrika Smith. She couldn't be with us tonight because of a pressing family issue, but we want to make sure that we recognize all those doing the work. Now, the reality is, you take an organization like Grove Park Elementary School, been serving the kids for over a half a century. The school itself, as we know at Grove Park Elementary, has been there standing strong since 1972. But for those who know the history of the Grove Park area, you know the reference to T.C. Miller, for which our street is named after, actually. And the kids in Grove Park have been served. There's a rich history of educational excellence that goes long beyond just 1972. But as can sometimes happen, the obstacles can seem insurmountable, and challenges, regardless of the pathology, can create struggles and problems and challenges for a school or really any organization. And at some point, you reach a point where it doesn't matter the pathology, it doesn't matter the why, it matters the what. What are you going to do with that? And the reality is our staff at Grove Park Elementary have reached that point. They say, Mr. Jones, we have to do whatever it requires to make sure that our kids are achieving the very highest outcomes. We don't want to be pretty good. We don't want to be good for a Title I school. We want to be the very best. Mr. Broski, you'll appreciate this. We are competitive. I know you're familiar with that phrase. We are competitive at Grove Park Elementary. And so we sat down together and we talked about what we need to do in order to make sure that kids are successful. And what we decided was the philosophy of doing the basic things right consistently each and every day. So for Grove Park Elementary, our initiatives for this year are reading, math, attendance, and increased positive interactions. Because all of those things are tied together. We have to have kids at school. And kids want to be at a school where they're engaged. They want to be at a school where they're greeted warmly. They want to be at a school where the culture is positive and the climate is warm and welcoming. And so that's what we set out to do. And for those of you in the room who have had the opportunity to visit Grove Park Elementary, you know that that's the case. I see some heads shaking. We get comments all the time about the interactions that they hear from 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds. Greeting adults, interacting positively with each other. You know, we don't come out of the womb doing those types of things. That has to be fostered. And we're creating an environment where kids want to be at school and they want to succeed. We don't shy away from where we've come from. Success ebbs and flows. The reality is last year we struggled. 28% of our students were proficient in math, 33% proficient in reading. 51% of our students indicated that they liked coming to school every day, and our average daily attendance rate was 81%. That means on any given day, 1 out of 5 of our students were missing. And you can't learn in that kind of environment. You can't learn if you're not in school. 40% of our students were chronically absent. And so we set out with very ambitious goals. You know, what is it in the SMART acronym? It's supposed to be attainable. We set that aside. We're ambitious. Because the reality is, unless your goals are ambitious, unless they frighten you just a little bit, what good are they? And so what we said is we wanted 60% by the end of the 23-24 school year. We wanted 60% of our students to be proficient in math, 50% to be proficient in reading. We needed at least 80% of our kids on campus, 90% of our kids on campus every single day. We had to reduce chronic absenteeism, and we needed to make sure that campus was a safe, inviting, warm, and welcoming place. And the reality is you have to do that. The adults are always going to be safe and inviting and warm and welcoming, but you have to entrust that with kids. You have to teach kids how to do that with one another. And that's where you create the legacy. Now, the reality is that we're just now this week in our Performance Matter 2, our Progress Monitoring 2, I'm excited to tell you that initial reports, because when you're a school that's coming from behind and playing catch up, there's a lot of different ways that you measure success. Sometimes it's proficiency. Sometimes it's gains. Sometimes it's how quickly are we closing the gap with the state average or with the district average. And I can tell you that looking at how our kindergarten, first and second grade students are performing this week, we are closing the gap by upwards of 1/3 between ourselves and what the district average is. Seeing gains across entire classes in math and reading, especially in early literacy. Now, of the things that we can quantify right now, I mentioned to you that 4 out of 5 of our kids were on campus every day last year, 81%. From August to November, almost 92%, just shy of 92% of our kids are on campus. Reduced chronic absenteeism thus far by 13%. When we measure kids' enjoyment and what they're getting out of school, 85% say that school is a place where they like to be. That's a place where they want to come. And that's how you battle the systemic change or the systemic errors or challenges that exist at a school. One of the most important elements of all of this is the school-wide implementation of our expectations the Gator Way. You heard our kids talking a little bit about singing, a little bit about that tonight. Now, being respectful, responsible, safe, and kind, those are pretty common. You find those on walls and on signs in a lot of elementary schools. The difference at Grove Park Elementary is that this is our ethos. This is our way of living at Grove Park Elementary. I can promise you I did not tee the kids up or Mrs. Johnson, who's our chorus director, to do that. In fact, I only found out yesterday that they had reworked the words to Jingle Bells. They said, Mr. Jones, we got a surprise for you. And they wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't divulge. But I tell you, it is amazing to be the principal at a school where the kids outshine you. And I told them tonight, I said, people will be talking about that performance and how you made them feel for months and for years. And we talked in the room that this is what success feels like. This is what excellence feels like. Planning for success, I'll go through these quickly here. What are we doing to make Grove Park Elementary School the very best school in Clay County? We're working hard to make sure that we capture's a strong word, that we recruit, and retain the very best. That we take our teachers and our staff members and provide them every bit of support and training that we can possibly give. We implementing foundations for our kindergarten, first, and second grade students, which is an intensive reading program to ensure that they are prepared when they come in to read third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade on level. Training and empowering all staff to educate our kids. Every staff member is an educator at Grove Park Elementary. Every staff member. In fact, something I'm very proud of is from the very first day of pre-planning, August 2nd. Oftentimes that's something that maybe only instructional staff show up to, or there's a luncheon or a breakfast, and then everybody kind of goes their own way. All 62 staff members that report to Grove Park Elementary were on campus for an opening workshop, where for 3 hours we talked in depth about what our vision was, what we wanted for kids, the type of school that we wanted to have. And that's where the real work was being done. So that regardless of whether you're the principal, the coordinator of student success, a teacher, you work in the custodial team, or you work in our lunch services, every member is empowered to connect with kids and to support kids. Because one of the things that we know is that you cannot achieve institutional change without every member of the team rowing in the same direction. You can't do it. And so that's what we seek to do. Strengthening our Tier 1 instruction, making sure that kids know how they're performing. One of the things that's been exciting this week is kids have stopped us on the sidewalk to say, Mr. Jones, I just wanted to let you know that I went up 36 points in math. Mr. Jones, I wanted to let you know that I've gone up in reading. That's powerful. When kids own their success, it's amazing what they can be lifted to do. What we look for in our classrooms. Dr. Shepard, you're going to appreciate this because it's going to sound a lot like the vision for success here in Clay County. High student and teacher expectations. We know that one of the most powerful levers you can turn for kids, the teacher and the staff members on the campus have to believe in their ability, not believe in the kids solely, although that's important, but believe in their ability to be the change agent and the impact maker for kids. So we work on our efficacy, positive student and peer engagement, grade level content and rigorous standards-based instruction, academic ownership by students. When you walk into classrooms, we want students to know where they stand and making sure that kids understand simply what they're supposed to be doing and how they're going to be measured. What does success look like? What criteria am I going to be measured by? As we close and as we wrap up, I have a couple of things to share with you. By the way, our theme this year at Grove Park Elementary is Rise and Shine, because it encompasses two very important things. Number one, to rise, to stand up, to grow, to get better, to increase in standing, and to shine. Did you know? Because sometimes I think people have certain, perceptions of Grove Park Elementary. I know we've shattered some of those tonight because of the excellence that you saw from our robotics and STEM team, from our staff members and students that were here, from our kids that sung for us this evening. I know you've seen the excellence, but did you know that Gators are leading? GPE is the pinnacle professional development school in Clay County. 1 out of every 3 of our classrooms this year have hosted interns, young people that are entering the profession, that are going through the College of Education at the University of North Florida. Did you know that Gators are leading in the classroom by owning the academic courses of work? Did you know that Gators are connected? We've had 6 community events where we've had a chance to connect with not only our neighborhood, not only our kids and parents, but come together as a community to focus our goals in the same direction. We've built partnerships with companies like Burlington Coat Factory, who adopted all 25 of our classrooms, and we're planning events like the Parent and Family Engagement Expo Series, which in January and February will create opportunities for parents, students, and staff to come together to talk about math, reading, how to grow in those spaces, the performing and visual arts, and STEM education. Did you know Gators are engaged? 1 out of every 3 of our students are involved in an after-school club, chorus, robotics, basketball, the garden club. What that tells us is that kids are hungry to participate. They're hungry to support their school. They're hungry to be engaged in what Grove Park has to offer, because Grove Park, for decades, has been a pivotal, important part of Grove Park. Did you know Gators are achieving? GPE seeks to be the very best. As I said earlier, and this is what I'm going to wrap up with, we don't want to be okay. We don't want to just get a little bit better. We're not looking to incrementally grow over the course of several years. We want to be the very best. That's the reality. And our kids and our staff members are doing the work every day to do that. And so right now, as a very proud principal, again, let me take this as an opportunity to say thank you to the staff. And man, the students that have hung out here, I'm very impressed, very impressed. And I appreciate that. And on a personal note, I do have to give a shout out. I wasn't planning to see her tonight, but Mrs. Tara Richardson. In 1999, as a senior at Middleburg High School, I found a way to take 3 classes that she offered. Half my schedule was with Miss Richardson. She was that powerful of an educator. The work of being an educator, regardless of what that looks like for you, the work of being an educator still matters. There is nothing that can replace the work that we do as educators. You never know the impact that you might make on a kid who's not sure what they're going to do yet. They might be a principal someday. And I appreciate you, Ms. Richardson. Thank you again, board, Mr. Superintendent. Have a wonderful evening. Appreciate you.
Madam Chair, can I say something? I just want to say that I don't know if it's because Mr. Jones was my teacher at Middleburg High, my economics teacher, but I will say, Mr. Jones, you match my energy. I know that's very hard to do. A lot of you will all agree, but I do appreciate someone who wants to achieve and surpass expectations and setting the bar higher. I don't know, I guess I can relate to that. Maybe you taught me that, I don't know. But I do appreciate that and the things that you're doing over there.
So, board, if I can kind of share with you a little secret, when we actually did the interviews for principals, there was 24 interviews, and you kind of go into that kind of wondering who's going to match up where. And Justin has secondary experience at the junior high and high school level, so I just didn't see that going into the interview. He talked about Grove Park, how Grove Park community and the things he wants to do for Grove Park. The whole group of people in the interview process, we all looked at one another when we left and we said, that's the principal of Grove Park Elementary School. And you guys can see the passion here today. So kudos to you, kudos to your staff and everyone.
Well, man, I feel like we can just go home after all that celebrating. That was awesome. All right, this will be the last call for comment cards for presentations from the audience. So if you still have one floating out there, if you'll hold it up so our deputies can see it. And just for a note, we have rearranged the order of our school board meeting agendas. So typically you would see presentations from the audience and then the consent agenda, but now you will see presentations from the audience and then the discussion agenda. So just a slight alteration in the way that we do things. All right, so seeing no more cards floating out, we'll begin presentations from the audience. Mr. Bruce Friedman, you're up first, followed by Beverly Suits.
Good evening, all. That was a lot of positive energy. I don't want to spoil it. This month I have submitted 39 additional book challenges. Some of them will knock your socks off, but we'll get into that another time. I'd like to talk about what's positive that's happened behind the scenes regarding the effort to clear the path of my book challenges, this community's book challenges. A large number of these books have been removed from the elementary schools to junior high or high school as a result of the district community council or the oversight committee review. Any number of those persons looking at the books could see that they weren't appropriate for elementary schools, and yet the judgment calls that they made did not end up becoming part of a rubric, which is all I have been pushing for since this effort began. But now you have a substantial number of challenges behind you and in front of you, and the results of those committee reviews. You can refer to them to find out why a book was found to be inappropriate for elementary school and decide for yourselves, work with the community, let the community decide if those items should be permanently decided along the same lines. For example, a book with people having romantic kissing in it. Maybe that's not appropriate for kindergarten. In my opinion, that's true, but it's not about my opinion. Let the community come together. I know there'll be some open meetings in the future. Hammer out this rubric and streamline this process so that you don't have to get buried in paper every month. This month, you'll see, it's a large burden. I don't envy any of you to even read what I have written since I've seen you last. And on that note, I wish you a happy Hanukkah. Have a great night. I'm running away.
Next is Beverly K. Suits, followed by Evelyn Dolly Hillman.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad it's cleared out a little. My name is Beverly K. Suits, and I'm a retired teacher. I taught for 30 years in Duval County, high school English and reading. I have a master's degree in secondary reading. My son is in his 28th year teaching public schools in Clay County, and I have a grandson in 6th grade in the public school in Clay County. Several years ago, I taught my son's 3rd grade class at Tynes Elementary for a year when he had to be out of class for medical treatments. My concerns tonight are twofold. Teacher retention and books being removed from public school libraries. First of all, thank you to all the teachers in Clay County. You are appreciated by more people than you realize. You are teaching in an atmosphere where you're expected to do more with less every year. It's sad to me as a former teacher who loved my time in the classroom to see the hopelessness and frustration among many teachers today. I was so proud when my son chose to teach elementary school. After 28 years, though, I see that his enthusiasm has dimmed greatly. I've also found this to be true among some of the younger teachers. They would not advise anyone to go into this profession nowadays. There are many reasons why there's a current teacher shortage across everywhere almost. Some of the reasons are the teachers have lost lots of autonomy in their classroom. Another reason is some parents and students don't respect teachers or educators. And another reason is that Clay County, as most of you know, has more books removed than any other county in Florida from the public library shelves. This is a dubious distinction, And who would have thought this possible a few years ago? As an English teacher who taught controversial books in my classroom, such as To Kill a Mockingbird, I do understand good literature is sometimes controversial. But teachers are professionals. They are not exposing students to harmful books. Books teach us about different lifestyles, different cultures, and different viewpoints. They can help us learn empathy and understanding through doing this. They're vessels to help us learn life skills. In closing, thanks again to all you Clay County teachers who are still hanging in there. I pray for you daily.
Next is Evelyn Hillman, followed by Tara Richardson.
I was determined not to leave. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Most of my 89 years have been dedicated to education. I spent 30 years in the public schools of Michigan, and I spent 15 years on the mission field teaching teachers in Nigeria, in the Congo, and in Haiti. And I'm a little concerned when I hear all of the controversy these days around education. Let me tell you that we have in this country the best system of preparing people to become educators. And once they're prepared, they're professionals. And they are ready to do a professional job. And I'm here to root for them and to ask you, board members, superintendent, to support them, to realize that they are professionals. When I was in Haiti, my job was to teach teachers. To become a teacher there in the small villages, you could finish the 8th grade or the 6th grade and become a teacher. Here, your teachers are university trained. We know about making things of the level of the youngsters considered, the education level of the youngsters. These things are part of our training. And I'm a little concerned when I hear a lot of talk about people who are going against the teachers, and we're pitting parents and teachers and board members and so forth. We should have unity. I got volunteer here for Guardian ad litem, and we say we are always interested in the best interest of the child. And I think educators are interested in the best interest of the child. And we should always put this in the forefront of our minds. So we don't limit what they learn. We give them a wide range, and the teacher and the parents help them to really understand what they're getting. So I commend you, and I look forward to the next year that we're going to do our very best to make sure our teachers feel like they're supported. Thank you.
Next is Tara Richardson, and our final speaker will be Judith Chappelle.
Yes, my name is Tara Richardson, and I'm going to try and keep my composure because I was going to brag that I taught Meredith Forkham and Justin Jones, and they were both forces to be reckoned with, even when they were in high school and doing their internships as teachers. Tonight I'm going to ask you for a few Christmas presents. I hope every year you can collectively bargain and settle contract negotiations before Christmas so that employees will receive money to celebrate the holidays. Congratulations to all of you on doing that, because that's a big deal. I hope that in the future, no one ever refers to your employees as godless heathens from this podium. I hope that you as a group will find statements like that reprehensible, and you would correct them at the microphone. I hope that students can learn history without feeling bad about themselves. History isn't their fault. I learned about Hitler's Germany when I was in high school a long time ago. And I have German ancestry. But I wasn't alive when Hitler was around, and I never lived in Germany. So nothing that I was learning in class was my fault. What you're learning in history is cognitive dissonance. It's a process where your brain is learning new information. And I hope that all of you and myself have the opportunity to learn things every day. And I hope and pray that people who want to ban books in public schools would spend 1 iota of that work time reading to children. And I do wish all happy holidays.
Next is Judith Chappelle.
Hi, I'm Judith Chappelle, and my address is on file. I wanted to first welcome you guys and thank you so much for this opportunity, and Merry Christmas to all of you. I wanted to thank the school board system and the school for the tutoring that was offered in the middle school. My granddaughter did get an opportunity to participate in tutoring, preparing for the upcoming classes for the testing that's coming up. And she did get an opportunity to participate in that. And so that was great. And I would also like to recommend that tutoring is offered not just for testing, but maybe just kind of year round. I don't know whether we have the revenue for that, but I think that would be something great. I do pay for a math tutor, but I think that would be great for people who maybe not have the revenue to do that. I would also like to special thanks for the responsiveness to some of the teachers. I know I'm very hands-on with the teachers when I need to get some response back and forth to some of the teachers, but some of them are very responsive, some not so much. But a special thanks to the principal there at Green Cove, Mr. James DeMarie, I think his name is pronounced, who is just very responsive. Anytime I send him an email, he is just right on top of it. So I'd like to thank him. One thing I would like to mention, though, is I don't see as much, and again, I know I date myself, I'm 65, I don't see the teaching of current events that I would like to see in schools. I know every day when I was in school, we had to do something about current events. And every day that Michaela came home, I would say, did you guys talk about what happened in Israel? She was like, no, what happened in Israel? So I had to kind of teach that every day. Did you guys talk about, And so I wonder, are we afraid to talk about what's going on in the world? When I hear about Founders Day and everything that we talked about the preamble and the Constitution and all of that. So we're talking about what happened in the past, but are we afraid to talk about what's going on in the world today because we're afraid to be political? But I think it's so important that we teach the kids what's going on in the world today, because she never did say that her teachers talk about what's happening in the world today. And so I know that it's a family's responsibility to do that, but I'm wondering, here we're heading into an election season. Do you even know who the president of the United States is without us talking about those things at home? I know that it's our responsibility, but is that not the school's responsibility as well to talk about current events? I know every day we had to do that in school. Again, I'm dating myself. I graduated in 1976, but I think that that's very important that we talk about current events as well. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
All right, that concludes presentations from the audience. So at this time, we will move into our discussion agenda. The first item, item D1, is the public hearing to approve as advertised revisions to School Board Policy 7.0, and this pertains to information services for the school district. So at this time, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to speak, you have the opportunity to do so without a card during a public hearing. Seeing no one headed towards the podium, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board. Do I have a motion?
I move approval.
I have a motion from Ms. Bola. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Ms. Hanson. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion item number 2 is Human Resources Special Action A. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
I have a motion from Ms. Hanson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second from Ms. Clark. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item D6 is another public hearing to approve as advertised revisions to School Board Policy 4.15 regarding tobacco use. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. Procedure's the same. If you'd like to speak, you can come to the podium now. Seeing nobody move that way, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for a motion.
I move approval.
I have a motion from Ms. Bola
I second.
and a second from Ms. Skipper. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And the final item on our discussion agenda is a public hearing to approve as advertised revisions to School Board Policy 1.14 regarding Sales Surtax Citizens Advisory Committee. Looks that way. Looks that way. I haven't opened the public hearing yet, Mr.
Someone's
Brodsky.
going to the podium.
All right. I'll now open the public hearing. If you'd like to speak, please approach the podium. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'll move.
I have a motion from Ms. Hanson. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Ms. Bola. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And now we have the consent agenda, but before we move into that, I needed to note that there has been a necessary revision to the ratification package attached to item C8, ratification of the 2023-2024 amendment to the 2023-2024 master contract between the Clay County Education Association and the Clay County School Board. In accordance with Florida Statute 120.525, parentheses 2, a change may be made for good cause. The ratification package was found to contain errors requiring the following revisions, and good cause exists for making these revisions. Compensation, second page, corrected data in the additional base salary increase through performance pay. The salary increases noted for annual contract teachers and professional services contract teachers were transposed. These amounts are governed by Florida Statute 1012.22 and have been corrected. There's another compensation, fourth page, corrected data in the maximum percentage of accumulated terminal sick leave days table under years 5, 6, and 7. All right. I will now entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll move.
A motion from Ms. Hanson. Do I have a second?
I'll second approval.
And a second from Ms. Bola. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right. At this time, we'll hear an update from Ms. Vicki Kidwell with CCEA.
Hello. I want to first start by thanking all the speakers who stood up and supported educators, and especially for recognizing the professionalism that educators hold dear to their hearts. They are in it for the children. We need more of that support from everybody. My mother lived a life of kindness, service, and empathy. She taught me through word and example the power and peace of service to others. Understanding the perspective of others is a rare and valuable quality, and CCA's mission is listen, amplify, and advocate for our professional educators. We know that improving working conditions means improving learning conditions. I appreciate the board's willingness to listen and support educators' needs, especially during the bargaining sessions. I wish each of you a joyous and blessed holiday and all the love and peace of the season today and all throughout the new year. Thank you.
And do we have a CESPA update tonight? No, okay. So we will move to the superintendent's update and presentations, Mr. Broski.
All right, so let me first start by saying that you got a 2-for-1 at this meeting because there won't be very many presentations at the January meeting. Students are not back in session, teachers are not back in session. So that was kind of like 2 board meetings combined. But wow, I kind of left thinking, okay, don't we have great students within our district, dedicated professionals? And let me just say personally, he's not here, so I guess I can say this. Mr. Jones' speech, personally kind of tugged at my heart because there's a guy on a mission out there at Grove Park. So very, very proud of him and the work being done there. So today, I want to take a minute. Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. That's why the flags are at half staff. Sometimes in history, as time goes on, we tend to forget. I can remember when 2001, September 11th, 2001 happened. And then as time goes on, I thought, kids today, they weren't even born when the events happened. So may we never forget Pearl Harbor and what happened there that helped forge the greatness of this country as we entered World War II. That's the history teacher in me. We have schools of the month, students of the month, holiday letters, the One Parent Academy, winter break. I'll make this as quick as I can. So here we go. Our schools of the month for November, thankful for our staff, Discovery Oak Elementary and Keystone Heights Elementary. Want to thank Community First for their partnership in recognizing our schools. There is not one in December because of the short time frame, but in January, please vote for your school. Awesome Academics. You have until January 22nd to submit. Students of the month. Let me tell you, this is actually my favorite thing of all the things you do as superintendent is going out to see students. This is Lucas. Lucas is Lake Asbury Elementary School. Lucas is on safety patrol. He actually started on his own a volunteer organization there. He went to the adults, advocated to be like the volunteer coordinator for students, to volunteer to help other students. I thought that was pretty darn impressive. Great young man. The thing I like about going to elementary schools is when you go out to the classroom and you award something to the student, every kid in the room claps in support of that student. And that's just a great feeling. And for the secondary folks, we don't go out to the classroom, right? We bring them down to reward them. So there's 2 individuals we wanted to recognize, Lincoln at Wilkinson Junior High and Abby. Lincoln's on the academic team, super polite, awesome citizen, second in the state at the James Harbin Media Festival. And then Abby on the right, Keystone Heights, volleyball, basketball, softball, tremendous school spirit. When I came there and I said, hey, I'm here to see Abby, everyone knew who Abby was, which indicates to me Abby is extremely involved and proud of her school. So great for them. One of the things we're doing is we're writing letters to heroes that are serving in our military and they are not here at home. And we're mailing those letters out on December 15th through this program with DOE. We should always remember our heroes that serve us and protect this country in our military. I wanted to recognize One Clay Parent Academy. I know Ms. Fogarty in the back kind of spearheads this. If you remember right, when we formed our strategic plan, we said we wanted more community involvement and family engagement, right? So we've instituted several things, and I don't know if everybody's kind of put that together, the deliberate attempt to do that. One of those things is the Parent Academy. You can see from the Parent Academy, they're going to be doing a variety of things, including ESOL program, our Parent View, ESE, Internet Safety, Financial Aid, FAFSA, Understanding State Testing, Careers. It's kind of a smorgasbord. We're even going to feed you if you show up for this event. So we're looking forward to that. We've also increased our volunteer involvement, our Parent Academy, as well as our ESE Advisory Council. So there's a lot of things that are being done to achieve Goal 3 that we set forth within our strategic plan. So wanted to give kudos to that. So winter break reminders, last day of the second semester, Wednesday, December 20th. You can see winter break Students don't actually come back till January 8th. Doesn't that seem like if I was a student, I'd be thinking, that's pretty good. That's sweet, January 8th. And then district offices are closed the 25th through the 1st. So Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy Holidays to everybody. Thank you.
All right. School board attorney remarks. Do we have anything, Mr. Blocker?
Just to update the board, we're continuing to work on the upcoming contract to present to the board with the Sheriff's Department, and we're making good progress with that. Hopefully, we'll have something to present shortly in January, maybe February.
Thank you. All right, school board member remarks. Ms. Hanson, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. I just want to say that I'm really proud at the willingness and the generosity of this board. I know if we could give people $1 million, we would. I know the conversations we have, and I know where our hearts lie. And I am appreciative of the district's bargaining team and all their efforts to bring this thing to a close before Christmas. The only thing I wanted to talk about, and I always have to talk about what's heavy on my heart, and that's the only way I know how to do business. I've always been a really unique person. I know by the way people treat me that I'm sometimes not normal and compared to what they may think normal is. But when I say that, I mean I'm very, very proud of our accomplishments, but I'm not the kind of person to be happy with that. And it could be a fault of mine because I think that this county can do better for our teachers. I believe, and hopefully we can start earlier next year, the board can have more input. I am hopeful that we can go outside of our normal box and start to think about different ways we can do things to better support our teachers. I am proud of what we have accomplished, but there's a whole lot of room for improvement. And if anybody can do it, I know that this board has the capability with our intellect and our generosity to figure out if we start early, we have a lot of time to think about it. I also wanted to say that I am going to ask the board if anybody would like to join me. I am going to hold a community forum on our library media policy. If you watched or have read the library training that the state of Florida did, the word stakeholder comes up many, many times. I think 15 times in that one training. It is important that a board hears from teachers, that a board hears from the public and our constituents. And so on January 16th, and I will need some help, Mr. Blocker, I'm not sure if a board member wanted to join. This would be for community input. It would not be a debate session, but it would be for any board member who wants to, and I could do it by myself too, I have no problem with that, but I want to be able to listen to stakeholders. Do you have, could you help guide me on how that what that would look like?
Yes, ma'am, just through the chair. So in order to satisfy the sunshine, you have to have notice within the statutory period. You have to have it in a public place, and you have to make sure that there's a record of the proceedings. So the best way to conduct that would be to have advertise as a workshop where potentially 2 or more board members may attend. That way there can be a free discussion on matters. There'll be no voting taking place or any decisions made, just simply a sunshine board, whoever decides to participate. But we'd want to have the proper notice, make sure it's an open place. You can't do it in a closet somewhere. It has to be where the public can attend if they want to. And then we just would want to make sure that it's been recorded and documented, and that would satisfy the sunshine requirements.
So the topic would be looking for stakeholder input on the library media policy, which is on our workshop on the 24th. So this community forum workshop would be held on the 16th. I'm hoping it could be held maybe here at 6 o'clock so that people who work could attend. And if you would like to join me in talking with our constituents, if you could send me an email just that you would like to join me. And if I don't get any emails, I just want to let you know I'm still willing to talk to everybody who has some input for us by myself. My office hours to talk to constituents begin in January. I'm just going to keep saying this. I will put it on my Facebook page, and the county is going to figure out a way to help me. I don't know how to even offer a suggestion on how to help me do this. But my office hours will be by appointment. January 10th, Middleburg Library, 4 to 7. January 17th, Orange Park Library, 4 to 7. Fleming Island Library on January 24th, 4 to 7. And I didn't want to forget Keystone, since we have a fifth Wednesday, January 31st. I'm not sure if it'll be in their library or they have a room by their meeting where they meet that they might allow me to use. So, and lastly, I'm sorry, I know it's late, but lastly, back last spring when we were hiring lawyers, the board decided that we would like to obtain a second school board attorney. And Ms. Gilhausen, you thought it was good for us to start talking about that in September. And the reason I discovered this, I have a list of things sometimes we don't get back to, and this was one of them. And I realized that Mr. Bittner's contract is coming to an end, the end of December. So I was wondering if, Mr. Superintendent, do you have any thoughts on?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I'm meeting with the Douglas firm next week.
Okay.
Just talk about the transition and additional services that might be needed in the absence of Mr. Bittner as his contract ends.
And so then maybe we could, I guess, let you guys talk about that, and maybe we could either get an update or put it on the workshop for January? Because we did get approval and we had, it's something that we wanted.
We can certainly do that. I think the meeting next week's talk about services and the transition, making sure that we have plenty of support from the Douglas firm. They seem committed to doing that, and so we're trying to make sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed as we head towards the end of December.
Because we do have an excellent firm, a depth we could choose from, so. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
I thought we had, do we not, don't you have a partner that's in office?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
So we do currently, at least we're getting services from, I think, three attorneys, or is it two?
No, ma'am. Right now, we have two attorneys, myself and Mr. Steinmetz, but yeah, I'm going to talk to Mr. Douglas is going to talk to the superintendent about a third attorney to kind of cover down on some needs.
Okay.
When Mr. Bittner leaves. But Madam Chair, can I ask for just one point of clarification? Mrs. Haynes, we want to make sure we get this correct for the notice. The notice for the workshop that you're going to have, is that indeed, what was the date? Was it
January 16th,
January 16th?
Tuesday.
Okay. I thought you said December. I said we got to move quickly
no,
on the
no.
on the notice to get that turned around.
It's the holidays.
That gives us plenty of time. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Clark?
I too have to state that it's Pearl Harbor Day, a very important day. And it's part of my being, since my father served in World War II and my mother served basically right alongside him. But the reality is that we continue to lose more and more people based on the time frame. And that selflessness and that hard work of that generation is often missed today. So if you find that I get impatient a lot, it's because of how I was raised. But my dad would be 104, and there just aren't very many of them left. So appreciate all that they did, and it's a part of all of us. I think we've had a nice turnaround this year, and we're getting some breath of fresh air, some positivity going, and we hope that we can keep going in that direction. And a big part of that, I believe, is our new attorney. And I want to say thank you that you truly understand our role and are helping us to also understand that role. Thank you. I know one of the things that we did this year that caused some angst was with Achieve 3000 when we didn't renew it. And I would ask and hope that this next year, as these different supplements come up, that we have time ahead to review before it's actual time to renew. So if we could work on that. and study it a little bit more, give us more time so that we don't have some of the complaints that we had this last year. And other than that, one of the events that we went to was the ribbon cutting at Keystone Heights Elementary for the new cafeteria. Amazing building process. And I think what came out of it was the fact of how wonderful our building department is. And I mean, above so many others. And I want to thank Bryce Ellis for that. And hopefully Bryce will be reporting to us soon about some of the portable replacements and what's going on. And I think we've got a couple of schools that we're looking at 2-story buildings, completing 32 classrooms. So hopefully this next workshop, we can discuss that. Bryce can bring that to us and help us learn more about what's going on, but another positive direction. So I want to just say Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Ms. Skipper.
I'm going to be careful how I articulate this, so bear with me. As a new board member, I've learned a lot this year, and I'm a fast learner to some of those who think differently. I learn very quickly. It's part of my day job. I have to learn quickly because lives are at stake. But I will tell you that as I learn, there's also mistakes that are made or things that I wish I knew before or hard lessons, I guess you could say. And as your new board member moving forward, I want to let our teachers know, especially our veteran teachers, because they are who, I love all of our teachers no matter what is said, but our veteran teachers, I hear from them most, I feel, and the struggles that they are going through and enduring just because of times changing and what they have seen throughout the years of their experience, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And I want to let them know that moving forward, especially with our contract next year, I want them to know that you will have a fighter. And I'm going to speak from myself as one board member. I don't want to speak for other board members. I'm sure they feel the same way. But I wanted to speak from my perspective. You will have a fighter. I've learned so much through this process. What not to allow to happen, what to allow to happen. There's been a lot of frustration because I myself, as a new board member, want to give the $1 million, want to give the $1 million home. And sometimes you can't do that for various reasons, obviously funds, but others who are possibly involved. But there will be more executive sessions or this board member advocating for more executive sessions, more meetings with our lawyer to get more done to benefit you all, not only from a salary perspective, from a classroom perspective as well. And I want to say that that transportation department has one heck of a director who has advocated harder for his employees than you have no idea. And my hat's off to him. He's a all-around great guy. We have great staff. I'm not trying to just single one person out, but I just want him to know, or want you all to know that he truly has fought for all of you. And then lastly, I want to say, a lot of you won't know, but those of you that do know, support staff and teachers at Middleburg High School and Wilkinson Junior High, the Secret Santa gift that you gave an individual within my family. means more to us than you will ever know. So thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to all of you.
Ms. Bola.
Thank you. Shout out, AMI. Thank you for inviting us to the Thanksgiving celebration. It was delightful eating with the gentlemen and their families. And our next, pardon me, workshop, unfortunately, is right before their graduation. So ideally, it'll be brief and we'll be able to make the graduation. But we'll have to drive quickly. Anyway, also shout out to Shadowlawn Elementary. I just want to let Miss Neighbors and her classroom know that I received all of the thank you notes. I was Farmer Brown, and I had to decide. They had to do a speech for me to convince me, and they were dressed as turkeys, to convince me not to use them as my Thanksgiving turkey. And we had everything from Ninja Warriors to Godzilla to one young man literally told me that he had the entire NSA, CIA, and everything at my disposal if I didn't pick him. It was awesome. One young lady turned everything into candy. She was delightful. And the speeches were awesome, and the thank you notes are awesome, and these will be cherished for many, many years to come. Needless to say, I did not pick any of them as my Thanksgiving turkey, and we enjoyed pizza and brownies as our meal for that week. Excellent community tour. When we talk about getting into the community, I think one of the things that I cherish most is the opportunity to visit schools, to get into the schools, to talk with the teachers, to see the students, to see what the students are doing, to have the students explain to me what is important to them. And the community is involved in so many different ways. At the Fleming Island High School community tour, it was awesome being able to walk around with folks from a variety of different backgrounds and learning their interest in our CTE programs. Excellent. This morning was the Argyle Elementary Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee season has started, and it's exciting and fun and excellent winners. And tomorrow is the W.E. Cherry Door Contest, I guess. Variety of things going on, but the more, as I said, that we are able to get into the schools and to talk with teachers directly, to, in essence, visit the media centers, to talk with the administrators, to have the opportunity to hear from you, those opportunities are priceless, and I can't thank you enough for them. This is the season of love, and I wish all of you the opportunity to be with your families, to love on them as much as you can. It is truly an opportunity to say Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa. Thank you.
All right. I feel like I can't add a whole lot to what's already been said. I have one item of something we need to discuss as a board. It is the time of year where we do committee assignments. Ms. Skipper reminded me of that earlier. So if you guys would be thinking about the committees you currently serve on, which you'd like to roll off, maybe new committees you'd like to represent on. And then also, if you have any requests for graduation in May, if I could get those now, that would be helpful. So you can send it to me in text or email. Either way is fine, and then we'll affirm it once we have everybody's input. And just to share what's on my heart tonight, I think coming off of the Thanksgiving week-long holiday and looking to a 2.5-week holiday from school, as a teacher, it's just so heavy on my heart that so many of us as teachers, when we send our kids home for a holiday break, a lot of times we don't know what they're going home to. And I know that that is a particular burden that we share as teachers, and we have a special place in the lives of those children and a special way that we can serve them. But I know that we carry that burden with us, and it weighs on us when they're not with us. So that's been near and dear to my heart lately. And I just want you to know, teachers, that I see that, I share that burden, and I'm praying for all of you and for our students as we send them home for this holiday break. And on that note, I'll say Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. This meeting is adjourned.